What's up YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, we're gonna talk about networking and referrals. All right guys, welcome to the channel. If you're brand new to this channel, I talk about business, I talk about recruiting, I talk about entrepreneurship, I talk about real estate, investing, finance, all those sorts of things. If you like that kind of content, you should definitely subscribe, and you should also join our Facebook group, Recruiter Empire. 16,000 other recruiters and people in the staffing business in our Facebook group. It's all linked in the description. We'll see you in there. Let's jump right into this video. All right, guys. So I'm going to talk to you about something that's super important. I also did another video on this called the $1 Billion Network, which is all about how you network and get a ton of referrals for whatever you need in business. More specifically, talking to you guys, I want to talk about recruiting and how your network is literally able to give you $1 million or $1 billion worth of value when you utilize it properly, when you have the right network with the right people at the right time. So let's dive in and talk about how networking and specifically referrals can help you out in the hiring process on the candidate side. All right, so first things first. The first thing that you should do when you look for a new candidate, when you are in the hiring process, is you should always look for a referral, right? So it's always going to be tapping someone from that network and saying, hey, do you have someone that fits, insert the blank, right? Whatever the criteria is for the job. Do you know someone that knows someone that fits, insert the criteria for the job, right? Whatever it is. Always try to go for a referral first. I use referrals for almost everything, right? And I make this joke all the time, but like literally down to my dentist. I don't want to go anywhere unless I know someone that I trust and know that's been there first. Then they can tell me everything about it and then I'll go there. Now, when you are dealing with a networked referral, right, in the hiring process, specifically in recruiting, it's going to be a much faster process because when you're dealing with that person, you're not going to have to go through all the screening, vetting, and testing and checking and double crossing and all that stuff with the candidate. The candidate is a known quantity to a degree, right? You're not going to take them, just for granted and say, yeah, just go right in an interview, right? Of course, you're going to check them out, but that person is a known quantity because they're getting referred to you by somebody else that you know and trust in your network. So a referral is that much faster in the process. You don't need to go through this long process with them, right? Because you've already got this element of trust. You've already got this element of knowledge about that person so that you can move forward, right? Knowing that you have kind of a lot of your boxes checked. All right, a second reason why referral networked people are so much cheaper to deal with than traditional candidates in the recruiting process is that it's going to be no cost out of your pocket for traditional job ads, right? It's going to be no time spent on your clock for looking on LinkedIn, looking on Indeed, posting job ads, running any of those sorts of things, right? You're not going to have to do any of that because the person was already referred to you. The person was already just handed over to you. Like, here you go, right? So if you come across this, you are going to have literally the cheapest, AKA zero dollar spend or time spend basically on this person because they're a referral, right? So it's going to be, in fact, your cheapest opportunity possible. That's why you always want to harness your network and harness it really well, right? So we don't just harness our networks in business for whatever reason, right? But in the recruiting business specifically, we harness the network for these reasons very hardcore. All right, so the third element I want to talk about is onboarding, right? So I mentioned in another video that the onboarding process happens in a different way with traditional candidates, right? And that's about 60%-ish of candidates that are gonna churn will churn in the first 45 days. That is not good, right? That's not a good stat. But when you have someone that's referred, right, they generally have someone that's a connection on the inside or a connection on the outside. It really doesn't matter. But if they're a connected, linked referral, it means that their onboarding is going to be 10x easier, 10x faster, and it's 10x more likely that they're going to stay in their position for a much longer period of time, right? They're not going to churn in that 45-day window. It's much more likely that they'll stay in their role, they'll be happier in their role because they trust the people that are referring them. If they didn't, they would speak up and say so. You'd be surprised at a lot of people that don't actually speak up and say, hey, I really don't want this role. This role is not a fit for me, right? They just go through the motions and take the position and say, yeah, I can just quit later, right? But this person would be much more likely to actually tell you that they love the role or hate the role, right? So right then and there, you're getting an onboarding process that's going to be way more spiffy than anything else. Now, the bottom line here is your network is your net worth. A lot of people say that, right? But I honestly think it's way more than that. I think it's more than your net worth. I think it's actually your net worth and then some. I think your network basically makes your net worth, right? So on top of that, it creates your net worth, but it also sustains your net worth, right? So being able to pull from your network for literally all kinds of things, right? So the $1 billion network, the video I did, I'm gonna link that in the description so you guys can watch that, because if you're not building a network, if you don't have a network already, you need to build a network like right now. You need a network. You need in your corner a handful of people that you can call on for whatever it is, right? I have so many different people that I could reach out to and pull strings to get all sorts of help on anything, right? So there's sorts of people that you absolutely need to just have in your corner, in your life, right? People that you could just call on and they'll actually do things for you. They'll help you out, give you advice, give you referrals if you're in the recruiting space, right? Or otherwise in business. But this is super duper important, so I'm gonna link that in the description. And if you guys found value in this video, please smash that like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. If you wanna talk about more recruiting and staffing stuff, join Recruiter Empire. There's 16,000 recruiters and people in the staffing business in our Facebook group. The link is in the description of this video. We definitely want you as our next member in there. I'll see you there, and I'll see you guys next time.